What up, Techies and Gamers? It's your boy DiamondTiger, always the gaming, and today I got a capture card for you. Not just any old budget capture card, though it falls in the budget realm. 4K 60, 1080p, 240 hertz, 1440p, 120. Yeah, that sounds like some pretty serious specs for a capture card coming from a box that looks something like this, that's just labeled video capture card. But it is from DiamondTiger, and if you go to their site, you will see that they have a lot of pretty good technology and devices there. It's not just one of your run-of-the-mill manufacturers that's just copying and pasting devices somewhere. They actually have a product lineup and works with PS5 and Xbox for all my HDCP concerned people out in the universe. Right now, I'm using the Fifine V3, which is the capture you are looking at here at 4K 30, and this has been my daily driver ever since I got it and I did the video. Links in my channel. This is a step up from that. That card is a little bit cheaper than this, 60-70 bucks for that card. This is coming in at 119 bucks as we speak, $120. So what are you getting for $120? If you like content like this, you like it rolling on your feed, and you're interested in capture cards and studio and content creation technology, then this is the channel for you. You might want to consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification and sending me an email saying hi. What? Let's look at what comes in the box. You get a little bit of Amazon documentation here, user instructions on the front and on the back. I just dropped it, so enough of that. Moving right along. We'll get to that later. Maybe not. Ooh. Little bit of weight on this piece of slab of metal. Video capture card, just to let you know in case you forgot what it was. Big bold letters, video capture card on the front of it. In case you forget as well, you got the resolutions, well, the highest resolutions it supports. Right on the bottom, if you look closely, there are some little holes there on either side. I would presume that that is for ventilation. Right there on the front, we have power indicator, so you should see a LED. We'll see what that looks like. In indicator there, as well as out indicator, and a host port. On the flip side of that, we have our HDMI in, our HDMI out, audio in, and mic in, so we can have separate channels there for your mic and speaker, and of course a power DC 5 volt. Let's connect it. Let's make a switch from this Fifine V3 capture card that you're seeing here over to the DiamondTiger capture card. Let's do it. And here we are with the DiamondTiger video capture card. Now, do I notice any differences really just by plugging one in and taking the other one out? Not really. They look very similar, and the frame rates are also pretty similar. Do a little side by side so you can see if there really is any differences. I think the contrast is also very similar. I'm seeing that there's a lot of detail in my hair, which means that it has lifted some of that black point in color, so it's going to see a lot more detail versus something like the Elgato, which tends to be like a higher contrast. You get a nice balance here, and I like this. I could use any one of these cards, the Fifine or this one, for creating content. I think it looks better than the Elgato Cam Link for sure. I've used the Cam Link before, and I didn't really, it was okay. I had to do some post editing with the contrast and the dark levels, but here the dark levels are fantastic, and color reproduction, HDR, looking good. Nothing to do, plug and play more or less. All right, this is good, nothing to complain about right now. First, let's start with some 2K gaming at 120 hertz on this little external monitor I have here, which does do 1440p at 60 and 120. Here we are at 1440p at 120 hertz with this capture card doing pass through from my PC to this little tiny monitor, which supports that resolution. All right, Techies and Gamers, here we are with a little bit of Darksiders 3, just to give you a little demo. So right now, graphics, we have it at 4K, but for right now, let's start at 1440p. We'll keep vertical sync on. Wow, that looks pretty nice in my face. Look how smooth that is at 1440p, 120 hertz, Techies and Gamers, on this little monitor here. I spent like $90 for this monitor. Yeah, this is looking smooth, much smoother than what it looks like on my TV. Oh, he spit at me. So as you can see, Tech Gamers, this does support a nice high resolution of 1440p at 120 hertz. My lord, the smoothness playing on this little tiny monitor is really nice at that resolution. Here we are at 4K. That's right, 4K 60. If we go over to advanced display settings, you'll see that we're running at 60 hertz on our screen. So, well, the card shows all of these resolutions because that's what it supports. So I can't go any higher because it will start flickering out. And we're gonna go over to options, graphics. We are on 4K, vertical sync. We have everything on pretty high, and our computer is on 4K 60. And this is the direct view of the TV screen. And it is looking pretty smooth here. Even if I use my mouse, look how smooth that thing is. Pretty nice. Okay. But I'm gonna fight him with a control because I don't know the keyboard inputs for fighting this guy. Fight me fair and square. Oh God, here we go with the acid. I'm dying by the acid, of course. God. Okay, 60, 1440p, 120 hertz, 1080p, 240 hertz. I know I don't have 240 hertz devices around, but the 4K 60 works pretty good, as I showed in the example, the pass-through, as well as the 1440p 120 hertz pass-through. I'm sold on that 1440p. I don't know what it looks like in the long run. You use capture cards a year in, 6 months, a year in, it dies out on you. That's not something I can tell, but I'll be using this card probably interchangeably with my Fifine V3 capture card. If you're interested, as usual, links are in the description. If this is content that you like, roll up in your feed, you want to see more of this stuff coming up, interested in some of this budget gear, right? This is considered budget considering what the Elgatos and AverMedias and all those other EVGA cards prices look like. This is probably the way to go to save you a buck. For all my budget gamers out there, content creators, I would recommend going this route. So if you want this, you know what to do. Link in the description. I don't think I have a code. They didn't provide me one, but if I do, I'll add it there. And well, with that, I'll see you in the next awesome review of more game and studio tech in your face. Later.